I saw a comment on this yesterday. I was hoping it was a troll comment just to tease me, but I knew in my heart that it was probably accurate. We have a brand new fusion, Kro'khad the Throat Ripper. I guess it's coming on Monday. I believe that is what they said. I was also looking for this on the Raid Shadow Legends, the official Raid Shadow Legends website, and nothing on any of these new fusions on here. I know it's kind of, you can't really see too... Can I actually move? Yeah, there we go. But yeah, there's all this stuff is kind of old. I don't know why they don't put all the new fusions. Like this Monster Hunter collab. This is not new. The Asgard is not new. Sun Wukong. All of this stuff is not new. Call of Arbiter. Like all this stuff is kind of been in the game for a while. I don't know why the new fusions are not here on the official website. But I guess they're really only looking for. This is supposed to appeal to the new players, I guess, and not the players that have been playing the game trying to catch up on the new news. But anyway, I just thought that was odd that that's not, like, I feel like these things should be on there so that everyone can see them and has a centralized place to go. We do have the news in the game, but also a lot of times it's not, like, the news is not always there. So, it's on Reddit. That's where you can go to find it, on Reddit. Anyway, we have the brand new Kro'khad, the Throat Ripper. This is a unit that teams up with Packmaster Shayak, which was a previous fusion, and everyone was waiting for a nice unit to go with that fusion for quite a while. I think they said it's been a year since that unit. I don't have that on any account, Packmaster Shayak, but this is a unit that teams up with that. He is good for Hydra and some similar places. Let's actually, before we do that, let's take a look at Packmaster Shayak and see what he's all about. And if you haven't already started playing Raid Shadow Legends, now is the perfect time to start with some brand new legendary and epic units for all new accounts, as long as you use the QR code on the screen or the link in the description. The first unit you're going to get is a legendary Elenaril at the beginning of the game. Uugo, which you get at level 20, Maus Mage, which you get at level 10, and of course the Lightsworn, which you get now at level 30. We also have the promo codes for new players. You can use Desert Queen for a Ruarc, legendary Void Champion, brand new Tholin Foulbeard by using the promo code DEMONSLAYER, Alice the Wanderer by using the promo code GETALICE, and last but not least, Greenwarden Ruarc by using the promo code TREEHUGGER. And you can only use one of those promo codes for new players only, and you have to input the code in the first day or two of playing the game. Packmaster Shayak, legendary champion. He was, I believe, a fusion a year ago, if I understand correctly based on what people were saying. So let's take a look at his skills. He's got the leader skill, speed lead, everywhere, which is nice. We have the first skill attacks one enemy, 50% chance of placing a defense break for 2 turns. Teams up with any ally Terror Beasts, Gore Masks, Hound Spawns, Hellfangs, Fellhounds, Stitch Beast to attack the allies joining the attack. Will use their default skills damage based on HP. So he's got this cool team up synergy. He actually has team up synergy. Well, he has not team up synergy, but he has synergies with a lot of these units in all of his skills, though. The kind of problem with that is people were complaining that these units are not really that great. They wouldn't want to build them anyway. They don't want to use them. And he exists. He's kind of like a dog whisperer or whatever. He is a pet master, and you bring him in with those units, but the other units are not that good, which kind of makes him not that good by default, since he has synergy specifically with units that are not that good. Then we have the Pack Alpha, removes all debuffs from this champion, heals them by 50% of their max HP, place a shield on this champion for 2 turns. Value of the shield is equal to any surplus heal. Shield buff cannot be removed, stolen, transferred if at least one Terror Beast, Goremass, Houndspawn, etc., is on the same team. All the doggos, right? Finally plays a taunt buff and a 30% reflect damage buff on this champion for 2 turns. These buffs cannot be removed, stolen, transferred if at least one Terror Beast, Goremask, etc., is on the same team, right? So you got to bring him with the doggos, and that's where he's going to get the value. And then we have the Blood Howl, fill the turn meter of all allies by 25%, 80% chance of placing a block buffs debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted if at least one of doggos is on the same team. You just need one doggo though. And then when attacked, place a hex debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. Ally attacks on targets under a hex debuff placed by this champion deal 20% more damage. When this champion is attacked, all ally Terror Beasts, actually this one is all ally Terror Beasts, Goremass, Hound Spawns, etc., will counterattack. So some interesting synergy there, but again, people were complaining that they don't want to actually build the rest of the units that he teams up with, and therefore this unit is kind of not very special or exciting, as you can see from all of these reviews being read, or all of the ratings being read. Although we know the in-game reviews are not necessarily accurate, but generally when it looks like this, it's kind of usually somewhat accurate. So now back to Super Doggo, Kro'khad the Throat Ripper, the one that's actually going to be good. We've got the first skill attack, all enemies. Attack deals single target damage to each target individually rather than AoE damage, which is interesting mechanic. So this is going to kind of bypass things like, I mean, I don't know how many people are going to be using him in PvP necessarily, but it's going to bypass things like Stalwart gear. Since it's less damage from AoEs, and this is going to still be an AoE, but bypass AoE damage, or attack individually, not as an AoE. Ignores reflect damage, pain link, and ally protection. We've got the second skill attacks all enemies, plays an extra hit on enemies under 2 or more debuffs, has a 75% chance of placing a leech and a weaken debuff for 2 turns. These debuffs cannot be resisted if Packmaster Shaik is on the team. Attack, this skill 3 attacks one enemy, ignores 50% of target's defense, as well as life barrier and poison cloud buffs, and effects that redirect attacks, damage, or debuffs to another target. Repeats this attack once if Packmaster Shaik is on the team. So he seems like he could do pretty decent damage. He's got some buffs on him as well. He also has a leader skill attack, increase ally attack in all battles by 30%. And then he's got the primal ambition passive, increases the champion's attack by 5% when killing an enemy or decapacitating a Hydra head. And that's where people really are saying that this is going to be a lot of value, is this plus Packmaster Shaik in Hydra, but they're waiting to see the multipliers, to see if the multipliers are really going to be as valuable, make him as valuable as he needs to be. Increase the champion's attack by 5% when killing an enemy or decapacitating a Hydra head, stacks up to 25%. Increases the champion's attack by 10% when killing an enemy or decapacitating a Hydra head. Instead, if Packmaster Shaik is on the team, stacks up to 50%. Instantly activates the Dominant Predator skill against the Hydra head when an ally is consumed by that head if Packmaster Shaik is on the team. So much synergy with Packmaster Shaik. Packmaster Shaik has so much synergy with this because it is a hound. It is a spiky doggo. So really, I think the question is, if you have Packmaster Shaik, I think everyone is considering this a must-go for fusion. If you don't have Packmaster Shaik and you are a new player, do you care about this? I would say you care about this much less because you don't have the synergy. However, I would say that knowing Plarium, knowing Raid Shadow Legends, that I would expect Packmaster Shaik to be in a boosted shard raid up in the next couple weeks. That's what I would expect. So be prepared for that. Personally, I have just done the last 3 fusions. I don't have Packmaster Shaik. I am out of resources. And also, I'm going to use this as an excuse to not do this fusion, is I'm going to be out of town for about a week. So there's still going to be videos coming out, but I'm possibly not even going to be able to actually finish this fusion because I am going to be busy doing other life stuff and I can't actually finish it. So thankfully, those two coincide with I have an excuse to not do this fusion, and I also don't have Packmaster Shaik. So two really nice excuses to take a break. I won't say take a break, but like focus on things that are trying to progress in the rest of the game instead of just fusions. That being said, good luck to everyone doing this Kro'khad fusion. Glad we're able to take a little bit of a breather. I'm gonna regret this later, I know I am, but I don't think that there's really anything I can do. Even if I wanted to try to go for the fusion and get some resources together to try to do it, I just feel like I wouldn't have enough time. Just doing real life stuff, I wouldn't have enough time to actually be able to juggle that and the fusion. I know I would drop the ball on like 1 or 2 of the events or tournaments and not actually be able to do it. So I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'll get back on it for the next fusion. Maybe we might do another fusion in the meantime, because we do also have on this account. Hold on, which one am I actually supposed to be doing here? No, get out of here. I started clicking 10 superior spirit potions. Okay, let's actually. Oh my goodness. Let's do the right. Oh, we can't even do this yet. Never mind. All right. What do we have for summons here? Hey, there we go. Here we go, and there we went. What do we have here? But we might do the raisin fusion. Such a weird name to keep saying raisin, because you know it's just a dried grape. So I don't. I don't know. It's just. I'm the only one that thinks it's weird. I'm like, yay, we're gonna fuse some raisins. Well, we're going to fuse one raisin because it can only be fused one time. But I think we're probably going to actually go for this next, and we're going to casually do it in the meantime. But I think really the biggest thing for us for this account is to try to do a little bit better in the dungeons so that we can consistently farm for the best pieces of gear. At least try to go for as close to 25 on a dungeon as we can. And just continue to improve our account through that and not try to go through every fusion because we don't even have the resources to build Titus. We just went through all this trouble to do it, and we don't have the resources to finish. So that being said, let's fuse some more. But I think we're going to get this broad maw. I think we're going to get this raisin, and maybe actually build Relic Keeper. No one uses Relic Keeper anymore, but I remember in the very beginning of the game that he was such a nightmare unit that would like solo things. It's like, oh, it's so frustrating, but now it's like, no. Every unit in the game is better than that. Anyway, what do we... Oh, we don't have the other one because... I'll do this one fusion. One summon, whatever. We don't have... Can I stop getting these units? I say after I'm the one that did the fusion, but... Yeah. We don't have the other one because we didn't do the spirit... Mixed 10 superior spirit potions. So we gotta finish doing that on here. Let's pick some things from not the shop, although we do need to get some Yakarl pieces. Let's just take both of these speed buffs and defense buffs. And then what else? I mean, there's a lot of these. Oh yeah, we're gonna easily do that because I just been farming that as much as I can anyway. So, yep, there we go. Anyway, that's it for this one. Just my thoughts on the fusion. I think it's a must fuse for anyone that has actually been playing and fused the last one from like a year ago, Packmaster Shayak. But aside from that, like, for anyone that's kind of like on the fence, very limited resources, and doesn't have the other unit, and probably not gonna, because I feel like they're gonna have, I feel like he's gonna be a boosted unit in the summons, so that people can actually get him if they didn't before. That's what I would do if I was Plarium. But yeah, I think for myself, for this account, we just need to continue working on building up a stronger account in general and not really focus on this fusion. So anyway, that's it for but we'll get right back on the wagon for the next one, I'm sure. Anyway, that's it for this one. See you as always in the next one.